overcome fear and anxiety. You know, when I put the Phyllis events on the last couple of months, you know, half the amount of people turn up and the other half don't turn up. And I've really given it some thought today, and I've actually realised why that is. And it's obviously, well, it's not always obvious. It wasn't obvious to me, actually. Sometimes I forget. It's fear. It's because people, they say they're going to come, they book a place 2 weeks before, and as it gets closer to the time, they start thinking about it, getting anxious and listening to the negative thoughts, and they talk themselves out of it. And people will make excuses, you know, we've all done it. People will lie and email me and say, oh, something's come up, or a lot of the times people email me, it's a positive email, it's like I mean this in a respectful way, it's like a desperation, like is there spaces I want to come on it, and I get back and I say yep, and I'm very positive, friendly, and then I don't hear anything back, and then maybe I'll email you again to double check, and then there'll be some excuse. But you know, we've all done this. I did this when I was younger as well because of my social anxiety and my fear. So as I'm getting older and I'm learning, and I'm trying harder to be more patient with people. I wouldn't say my clients, because to be fair, my paid clients, 99% of them are punctual, they're on time and they're hard working. It's mainly people, some of you who I appreciate, who follow me, have been following me for a long time, but you never show up to the events. So I am trying to be more compassionate, more understanding, because obviously we're all human, and sometimes we forget what it's like to be scared and nervous when we've overcome something. A word of advice is, this is positive, I mean this is a fact in my experience, you're actually a lot stronger than you think. You know, the fear and the anxiety, the emotions and the thoughts together always, well, they can feel stronger than what you are. But when you push yourself, which is why I make all these videos, all my videos are basically for that one technique. And that's about when you feel fear and anxiety in any situation, wherever it may be, coming to my Fearless event, speaking to a girl in public, going to the gym, starting a business, meeting new people, speaking up at work to your boss. It's those feelings, it's those emotions. But once you decide and commit, you've obviously read the book, that famous book from Susan Jeffers, which really outlines a brilliant truth that's been true for so many people, which is feel the fear and do it anyway. And I really appreciate her philosophy, because it's true, it's reality. When you feel the fear and do it anyway, you overcome it, and you're a lot stronger than you think. But when you let your mind and your emotions play tricks on you, and you give into it without a fight, it's going to beat you, and then you're going to come up with excuses. So I don't take it personal anymore, because I do understand, and I know it's not easy for people to admit that as well. I was like that, you know, pride gets in the way, ego, we're human. It's hard to be vulnerable. I do the best I can to be as honest and open and non-judgmental, so you feel comfortable. And I'll share my story again, just some of you might need to hear it. So years ago, I was such a frightened person. I had life anxiety, social anxiety, low self-esteem. And if I got invited to go to any sort of event where there was people there, I would be worrying about it for weeks before. I wouldn't even be able to sleep the night before. And a lot of the time, I would talk myself out of it. I'd make an excuse. I would email. I remember when I was going for a stage looking for a job, and they would put you on these training programs, and I'd make excuses, you know. I couldn't just be honest to say, oh, the reason why I'm not going to come today is because I'm scared to come, and I just can't face it, right? So I would really respect it and appreciate if some of you that want to come could just be honest and say, you know what, Johnny, I want to come, but I'm too scared, I just can't do it. I totally would respect you for having the courage, and I think that would be a great start, rather than what a lot of people do. I'm not saying all of you do it, but a lot of people will lie and email me and say, oh, something's came up, a holiday, or it's like, come on, like, I'm not really going to fall for that. It's mind over matter, isn't it? It's mind over emotions, and it's really about how committed are you to changing your life. Because if you're really committed, despite the fear, you'd feel the fear, you'd do it anyway, you'd show up, because so many people manage to come. They're no different to you are, it's just that they've found the courage. So it's a choice. So, you know, that's what it takes to be successful. It's being able to make decisions when you're nervous and overwhelmed, and to get yourself there, to physically drag your body there. You know, whether you're kicking and screaming inside and you're nervous and, you know, that scared little boy that's in all of us to override that. And that's when you're going to feel great about yourself. So the choice is yours. I can't force you. I can only invite you, encourage you, tell you my story. So sorry, back to my story. Yes, I was a person like you. I made excuses. I told those, those little white lies that we tell to get out of doing things. So I was scared. I was scared to face those emotions, scared to face people. Facing people would bring those emotions up. Until I got to a point where I got so depressed, I had suicidal thoughts at 25. I was really in a dark place and I just thought, I can't do this no more. I've had enough, don't care what people think. I'm going to face everything. And that was the most positive thought I ever had. I acted on that, changed my life. I started putting myself, and it wasn't easy, of course. I felt the same way you're going to feel. I did go to meetups, lots of groups before I started my business, and I was nervous inside. I was shaking, I was awkward. But I always did better than I thought. And I kept going and it got easier and I got more confident. Eventually I got over the anxiety and I started my own groups, started doing public speaking, started speaking to women. Every area I faced, I went to the gym, and that's how I became successful. There's no secret, guys. There's no like something that I read or some magic thing that I've got that you ain't got. No, I just built that habit. So take this opportunity this Sunday, because there's no guarantee I'm going to run these events. You just never know. Come along to the event. My email address is below. There are people coming, which I'm really thankful. And don't make excuses. Or this might help you, right? If it helps you, because accountability. Send me an email and be honest. I'm not going to publicize it on the internet if you want me to keep private. Send me the email and just say, be honest, say you want to come but you can't because of the fear. That might free you up. And I find the practice of honesty is actually one of the big things that makes you successful. So there were the two things that I did. I started practicing being honest about my vulnerabilities for self-respect and accountability, and other people appreciate it. And I started to take action, and I did it. I've done this in most areas, not every area obviously, but like the dentist, used to never go dentist because of fear, anxiety of the dentist, hospitals. Now I go dentist, now I go hospitals if I need to. First dates, did it. Job interviews, did it. Public speaking, sales call, did it. What else are there? Interviews, live streams, did it. Running my own events, did it. Teaching people, working with people, making YouTube videos. So anyone can do it. I'm just a normal person, anyone can do it. And it's just having that mindset. And it's weird because when you start committing to the fear, it's almost like the fear's got a life of its own and it gets scared. You know, you take the power back off that inner bully, those tormenting thoughts and feelings. And as you build more momentum, example, like guys who have come to 5 fearless events, they're different. They're so much more confident now. It gets easier and you can actually overcome the fear fully. How you do it. And the great thing about, see, that's what I love. And I've heard a few other teachers that have been through their stories similar to mine. They became successful for the same process. Once you tackle one fear in your life, that is a big one, and you get over it, it gives you the confidence and the courage to then go and tackle other fears, and it builds a momentum. So for example, to make it simple, if you had a fear of doing what I'm doing now, speaking in front of the camera and making videos, if you did this 20 times, 30 times, it would be less scary every time until you get to a certain point where there's no fear. Now, once you've nailed that, once you've overcome your fear of doing YouTube videos, you could then go, right, I have a fear of speaking to women in public or in any social situation. You could transfer it onto that. You could overcome that fear and then go, right, I have a fear of starting my own business. I have a fear of money. I have a fear of selling. I have a fear of marketing. I have a fear of... And you transfer it. So that's what I did. That's my story. And that's what really opened my eyes up to human potential, what people can do if they put their mind to it, what I can do, what you can do. And that's why I became not like arrogant at all, but humble and very confident. I became very confident that I could help my clients to be successful, the guys that have this anxiety, this fear that I had, because I did it. I was the hardest client to teach in the world. But once I could teach myself and succeed, then teaching people for me was just a formality, and it was also a bit of a, I think, a gift that, thank God, that God gave me growing up. Something as simple as coming to the Fearless event could lead to something great in your life. So this is my motivational talk and encouragement that you can do it. Once you get there, see, this is an interesting thing I want to share. once you're in a fearful situation, as scary as it may be, and some fears trigger more anxiety than others, you will adapt. Your human instincts will have no choice to fight or flight. You'll survive. You will do it. And I think I mentioned this a lot, some of you know. Boxing, I was terrified. I put off sparring for years, and I kept doing it, and then I overcame the fear. I can better manage it, because periodically you can overcome the fear, but it kind of comes back. But I really got to grips with it and did it so many times, and I never thought, once I did that, when I came out of the ring, I was like, I can do anything. I can tell other people the same if they care to listen. So it's just about committing. See, this is the difference I've said before between the two clients or two types of people that come to the event. The ones who don't commit, they don't succeed, they don't get past this anxiety, but the ones that do. So no matter how bad you are, if you just commit and come, you're going to get better. So stop waiting to be qualified, stop waiting to get a six-pack, stop waiting to be perfect. That's not necessary, that's just myths. Society, the magazines and the films and the movies, and people talk a lot of smack, they talk a lot of nonsense. Show up and the rest will run its course, and it will get easier. Anxiety, social anxiety, fear, you only get rid of it by confronting it and by doing it regularly and committing to it. And there's nothing to be scared at the Fearless event. It's a non-judgmental environment, it's positive, it's easygoing. And let's say worst case scenario, you came, you didn't like it, you felt uncomfortable, you can leave anytime you want. I'm not going to hold anyone to ransom, you can go. And just say, look, John, I'm going to go, thank you, no problem, I appreciate that, right? I'm all about just having good manners. So I can't be any more fairer than that. So I'm looking forward to this Sunday, and I think the weather's going to be good, so we're probably going to go to the park as opposed to the Irish bar. But worst case scenario, if it rained, we've got a nice place to go inside. If it's hot and it's sunny, then we'll go out in the park and we'll do it that way, and we'll overcome our fears and we'll have a great chat. It's way better than being on social media, isn't it, guys? If you stay on this thing too long, you just get down. So when you meet people in person and you come back to social media, I actually quite enjoy it. All right? So anyway, this will help any of you, whether you can make the event or not. In any area of life, it's the philosophy that I've used. And I think once you get the hang of this, and once you see the results that you're going to get, you'll be more motivated, you'll be more inspired to keep going in your life and facing your fear. And you'll actually look forward to it. That's the amazing thing what happened to me. I used to dread it, I used to hate it. Now I get excited, I really do like it. Maybe I'm a bit touched in the head. That's what happens when you become successful and you fail a lot and you succeed and you challenge yourself. Your thinking changes, it really does. And things that used to make you frightened and make you go, oh, I don't want to do it, and it's going to make me sad and down, and that black cloud's going to come over me. It's like you get so pumped up for it, so excited, all right? So appreciate all the support, and I'll see you at the Fearless event. Or if you want to drop me an email for the honesty, to give you some strength, I will respect you for it. I always respect anybody who says, listen, I'm scared about this, and they own it. That's great, that's good honesty, that takes character, all right? Speak to you soon, remember, fearless.